Hello everyone, my name is Slumperd and that's not something on my nose. I'm actually wearing a Christmas hat. The hat? Christmas... I don't know what you call it. Anyway, as you can see, we are here at our warehouse where last weekend we had our stream weekend and I've been starting to build during that. In the in-between, I have basically recorded and almost, well, I haven't finished it yet because I realized on time. I've been working on a different episode than the one you're seeing right now. Because in that episode I built the whole Secret Santa thing that's going on the server right now. And it would be a little bit silly to show that on camera like before that anything actually happens with it. So instead, we're just gonna have a walk around and see what we can do here. One of the things I have been doing actually is... can I see an example of this? Oh, you know, sometimes in Minecraft trees grow like at the edge of blocks, so you can see like where they stop, as it were. Like this. I've been kind of going around and doing stuff like this. To make it look a little bit nicer, because I really dislike it when it looks like that. See, this looks ugly, so we do that and it looks a little bit better. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna look for something to do this episode, and I immediately see another one of these, so we're gonna first fix that. And maybe what we'll do is, because I've got Optifine, I've got the replay mod running again. We'll just start with a time lapse of the outside of this. Actually, before we are going into a time lapse, I just noticed this piece of block, this piece of glowstone is missing, and this also now looks weird to me. So we're gonna fix that first. Much better. And actually also while we're at it, these three have been bugging me for a long time. I'm actually now also looking at this, but we'll leave that for now. Let's fix these three first. So what I thought could be fun for this one is that these two over here, they have not been listening to the rules, and I think actually I'm gonna push him a bit further, like against the log as well, but because these two haven't been following the rules, this one is telling them off. And I think that's fun in a way. Like, wouldn't expect anyone to perfectly what's it called? Wouldn't expect everyone to follow the rules exactly. So I think that's fun. I think maybe we'll put him against the log as well. But yeah, that's one more thing of the to-do list. Also still on the to-do list are the two floating islands, and actually during the live stream, I'm not sure if I did set it out loud, but I thought to myself that it'd probably be better to, at this point, just give him a little of a flat surface, or a surface flat underground, so that we can just continue with the builds as it were, and not be stuck on this one small thing that in the end doesn't really matter that much for the build itself. And then if we really want it later, we can always add in a more full underground later. And that was all the dirt and grass I had on me around here. So, and we're only 2 shulker boxes, so it's not that much, but we do definitely need a little more, which we have, just not here. And let's continue with finally now our warehouse. Actually, one last thing before we start with that. Ooh, actually maybe 2. I've been using this little tunnel here to get to from my base to here quicker. Sometimes also just going underneath. But I don't like this hole that's left here. So I think we're gonna quickly build a small little redstone door. And yeah, use that instead. Alrighty, so I'm not completely happy with it yet, but it works. Just go in and out, and all the redstone is hidden. But I'm not completely happy yet with how it's worked into the mountain, as it were. But we can have more looks at that later. For now, this is a lot better than just having a hole there. So while doing that redstone, I've also been thinking about this thing over here. And I don't think, at least for now, maybe... no, I don't think we're gonna work on it this episode yet. But what I have been thinking is, in the same vein as having, if it loads in, well, the island over there, having that be much flatter than we originally intended, and have it just go flat over here. Is it... Oh, you just saw that? Since we're doing that here anyway, and when we do get a little bit rid of the same height thing that they had going on, but honestly there was only the plateau, the rest of it was already gonna be different. But if we go with that same thing, then it's probably a better idea actually to use it as this as a bottom and build up from here. And then yeah, that will be much easier build to be built than from down there up here. So I think we're gonna do that. I think what I'm gonna do before any of it is going to a redstone, or not a redstone world, but a creative world, and find a little bit of a block palette together to get a good idea of how I want this to look before I actually start building it. Because with that one, you can see it, but with that one we were very lucky in that about at the same time that I started building it, I also found this Reddit post that gave me a lot of inspiration of how I want it to look. I haven't found anything like that for this, so I think maybe I'll just spend some time going over the internet trying to find some good places to or finding some good inspiration sources to for this. But if not, then we'll just have to experiment like I did with the base underneath there. But now it is finally time for our time lapse. Actually, I was just thinking that, well, I'll show you. We still have our floor, which I have been showing from episode to episode as not very finished. And I suddenly had an idea for that. Here we have this hole. And this morning I was watching Iskal85's video. I don't know which episode it was, one of Hermitcraft. And in it he said Aquarium. And I was thinking, yes, what I'm thinking of doing is we need to kind of make a real edge to it here, and or a real border, I should say, not necessarily an edge, and probably make a couple of smaller holes over the whole thing as well, and then dig it down, fill it up with water, and top it off with glass, and then we have kind of a similar effect as here, but with water and fish. So I think that actually might be a better idea as filling all of this up. And if it doesn't work, we'll try it in a smaller area, and then we can see if we like it. If we don't, we can switch it back up. If we do, then that's good. So the first question is, where do we want to do our tests? And I think if we do it, we should make it a space where we want it eventually anyway. I'm thinking is that area over there. We can use this for the test. And then if we think that's good, we can pick up something over here as well, make the area a little bit bigger. And also make maybe this an area and push it a bit further back and make here an area as well. And then underground, all of those will be connected with the same like water, so the fish underwater can swim in between all of them. We are here in a creative world, kind of. It doesn't maybe look all that similar, but it has kind of similar vibes as the area around my base, so not sure if that's gonna help anything, but So it's probably going to be rather quick actually, because I'm just wanting to have a look at what things are going to look like if we place them. By the way, it's 60, and I actually think I kind of like it. Maybe we'll make all of them 3, so it becomes 9 instead of 6 as this now. Just to put those edges kind of a bit further apart from each other, make the cyan as well a little bit longer in comparison. Another thing that is needed here is a bit of light. So most logically that would probably be sea lanterns or sea pickles. I think the problem with that testing right for that is that it's a little bit too small on examples where to really test it out with. If we time sets night, not very visible. I have to see how much of this will really. We can immediately also say actually that we'll build something like this and have pickles there. So there's also a bit of elevation within the thing itself. I think that's for later. I think for now what we need is the 3 different concretes. And yeah, use that. So I hollowed out the part that I want to test, and immediately there is a problem in that a lot of the stuff around it is, and I've kind of picked right or smart here with an area which has a lot of maybe I could have picked better, but there's a lot of what's called light blue concrete powder here, and that will kind of smoothly transition to the other parts, but I am not sure if that's going to be the same for like this and all the others. And also there's going to be a question of how much do we want? Do we want these like the similar as... We want them to be the same as this ones, where they kind of like float above the lava, I should say. Or do we want to have them like pull down and have them also be walls underneath? But I think before I am really gonna start worrying about that, I'm gonna just quickly go and buy a lot of concrete powder. Now that I'm standing here, I'm realizing that besides the walls for the light blue, or for the dark blue I should say, we also want to do the floor with that. So I probably should just buy an extra bed of that. So we'll grab 9 extra of that and hope that's enough. I am suddenly realizing I'm making 2 mistakes. One, I should have bought the glass before I start building. And 2, these are all still powder, so I'm gonna have to... do I have water bucket with me? I don't. But I probably gonna have to quickly light this up. But also have some water here so that when I start on the next layer, it doesn't all fall down. I have this edge still here just because there's a lot of concrete there. So once all that's in place, I'm gonna switch those out and make it nice and pretty as well. But for now, let's put this back real quick. And let's quickly grab some water to save this, and then I'll also immediately apply some glass. Just in time I remember that I still have a bunch of glass and a bunch of dye, so I just dyed the water above here. But now let's quickly turn all of this into concrete, at least the lower part. The rest we'll do once we actually start filling it up with water. Okay. So with that new strategy, I'll see you once the test at least is finished. And with that, I am pretty happy actually with how this is looking. Maybe there's an argument to be made for making these glass like one lower. I'm not really sure about that. I think it's good the way it is right now. And And what I'm also thinking was that was why I was up there. Initially, I was thinking of making one big hole, as it were, and then having those kind of at some points can kind of get higher, and then that's where you get these pools, as it were, and the rest will just be normal floor. But now looking at this, I think instead we're just gonna make a couple of big holes, actually kind of the reverse of what we have here with the lava islands. We'll just have water pools. Like here you have islands in the lava, here you have pools in the floor. And I think we'll put a couple of those there, but we'll connect them underground. Which then also makes me think that maybe that's also a thing we can do with these. To have that kind of similarity between them, that here the islands will through underground tunnels be connected, and here the pools will be similarly to underground tunnels be connected. I'm really happy with how this has turned out, especially like sort of at a glance when you're just walking around. Like when you start sort of zooming in on it, like a bit less because you switch there between colors. But yeah, really happy with it. It will need a bit more like variation in between, and we'll put some coral and some fish in there still, but just as a concept, I think it works. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope to see you next time.